When we look at this chart, I would like to ask you how many of us here agree with this? How many of us believe that this mark up is going to be extremely bullish in XRP? The way we see how the whales are accumulating, the way we understand what they are doing, it all points to one direction. Fundamentals, yes, it's true, these guys have actually slowed us down, but now we have the clarity. Look at how things are evolving. Everything points to one direction, but that is a weekly chart. So the amount of patience you need is going to be exceptionally more. Yes, we need to know on a short term what we are doing, but keep this in mind. Don't forget the fact that there are assets in the market which do show us some concern. There are assets in the market which show a lot of concerns. But remember this point. We had assets in this market which were trending higher, doing macro run-ups when the entire crypto market was still slow. These assets did their best part run up when all of others were still slow. So that's Chainlink. This one is SNX. It actually did that big macro run up when the market was slow. Now, why am I pointing you guys towards this? Because I believe that XRP, XLM, XDC, some of these tokens are about to do the exact same thing this time around. If the majority are slow, these coins are about to pop. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. When we actually look back at this and ask the question like, are we really going to do something like that? I would like to first ask you the question like, do you see a similarity in how this starts? Do you see in all these assets, when you trend lower, you're making consistent lower lows, lower highs, and then you end up in a range tight trading zone, which we call as accumulation region or accumulation zone. Once you break up from there, sometimes it takes 30 days, sometimes it takes 45 days. It's true, but you now start a new trend moving all the way to the upside. Now, is it just a straight line to the upside? No, it's not. But you do get pops, run up, consolidation, again, it do the same. Keep in mind, you don't want to miss these. And that's what we are talking about. Even though it ran up 740 days, if you take the time of consolidation, that's a long period of time. 350 days of consolidation, again 150 days of consolidation, again an 83 days of consolidation, which means majority of that part of 740 days was consolidation. And if you moved out of that asset in between, you missed a big part of that ROI. Now, yes, I agree. These are all payment assets. Let it be XRP, let it be XLM. Both of them look similar, as well as the XDC, but you do have other assets which are in the payment space, but they haven't actually done that for some reason, right? The news, the narrative, and everything else has been macro bullish for each bar. There is no doubt or argument in that. You can actually plot the trend line and put the argument like we did this break, we went up, we are retesting and trying to bounce off. But what we want to see at this point is the fact that the market structure is bullish. That's what we want to see. Now, what am I talking about? If you actually put the perspective here, you can see the market goes up, it consolidates there, it goes up, it consolidates there. It tried to go above this, but it gets rejected. At that point, the market slows down, retests this bottom, and breaks it. So something just changed there. Same thing you want to see to the upside. It came down, it consolidated there, it dropped. It's now consolidating in that region. It's acting strong. Great. So if we see a breakout here, that's what we want. And that is something which we already got in the assets like these. It was still going down, massive downside, as we can say. Put the argument like this way, trending down. It was consolidating, right? Then it started making a new high compared to the previous range, put in a new low compared to the previous range, which was great. A higher high, a higher low, and then you popped up. Now it becomes more evident that you're starting a new trend. If you go back in history looking at all of these assets one by one, you see something similar. You do consolidate in a range, you break higher, do the retest, bounce off. Consolidate, bounce off. So you don't want to miss this part of bounce off. That is my key point, because if you do, now you're not getting the max ROI. Imagine you didn't buy XRP in this range of 0.3. You didn't average down to that range. That means you're now waiting to see if it bounces higher or not. And if it does, imagine the price is going to create a higher low here. Imagine the price is about to do something positive and make a double bottom here, and it may bounce off. Now, it's a speculation, basically trying to see what the market can do. It may do this, we don't know, but if it does, now we are looking for this trend line. If that trend line breaks, okay, that's bullish. You say, okay, this part is done. Now we are headed higher. We may go up to 1.8, $2 in that run up, maybe 2.5. Great. But the question is, do you understand the fact that on a macro, it's just starting? There is no question of how high we are going to go at this point of time. Say, if you are an investor with 10x, 15x, 20x, you're mind-blowingly happy. Yes, it's true that people are looking for 100x, 1000x, 10,000x, all those. But let's be realistic. If your average is 0.4 and the price reached $4, yes, it's price discovery. You think it's going to go up, but you're already 10x. You should be thinking about taking some profits, basically. Now, here is what it is. Once the price consolidates this long inside a range and it breaks off, you see them popping until a point, there is a blow off for sure. It kind of gets rejected immediately. It shows you that it is done with an engulfing candle. Great. Now, for XRP, this has been true a couple of times, showing the top, local top, as we can call it. Which means even if you're entering the price and riding this run up, now you have a long way to the upside. Remember, the monthly always shows you the way. If the monthly is overbought, now that's somewhere you should definitely take profit. If you didn't take it here at the top last time, okay, next time when we are coming up to that range, make sure you consider doing something like that. Because on a macro scale, this is what we are watching. The price action is about to come to this direction. It is doing something interesting. We all agree on that. But we do understand that it's not just one asset doing this, right? In the same industry, in the same field, we are watching multiple assets doing something like this. It has been a range and then a breakout. And historically, that has been proven the best way to be in an asset to ride on that wave. But what we are watching this time around is massive participation of institutional investors. This was there last time, and I do believe this will be here this time. We already came back down, which means a level of consolidation here, and then a bounce back up is coming. Now, let us go through this and say in 6 months' time, if you see the price above $1 in price discovery terms, you don't want to have that regret, because that's the hardest part in crypto. Because if you stand out of the market for 6 months and the price blows through, you may have to wait for another market cycle to get that kind of ROI, or hold yourself, be calm, wait for a major drop whenever it comes, and then buy. Whenever the price drops 50, 60, 70%, that's a huge opportunity to buy. The opposite, whenever the price blasts like this, do a 10, 20x, take your profits. That's going to be really important. Now, I'm focusing heavily on these assets in the payment industry because I'm watching them doing something brilliant. Now, there are a lot of different speculation going around with the breaks and all those. Agreed. But The point I'm making here is that there are fundamental assets like this. It's Cardano. It's a great asset, smart contracts, all those. We have watched how things evolved in that asset last time. It followed the market and had the accumulation. We broke higher. Everything was great. Right now, you're still at the bottom. You haven't broken down to the bottom, but you haven't actually broken up too. We're still waiting. So that gives you more time. Like it may take another month, 2, 3 to bounce off, break higher, and give you a change in structure showing I'm turning bullish, macro bullish. Now, this can be a double bottom, this can be a triple bottom, it can be a great buy if we have 2, 3 years. Because we don't have a confirmation yet that this is about to run higher. This is about to ride for that march. However, we are watching something same in these assets. They are all showing you history is rhyming. History is repeating in this asset class where you're watching. The primary reason here is utility. One is well-educated community in the payment space. They understand what the target market is, what the size of that market is, and where we are going. So the future looks bright. In the meanwhile, the short-term fluctuations do shake our emotions. Even if you have your targets fixed and the price dropped 10, 20, 30%, now you doubt your investment. Now we're like, okay, what just happened? Technically speaking, yes, that impacts everyone as human beings. But fundamentally speaking, we do understand the narrative like, okay, even during that time, it didn't go bankrupt. Why? Because the fundamentals of this particular asset is exceptionally growing day by day, week by week, year by year. It's not slowing down, it's not dropping, which means these kind of speculation kind of get some room because just of that. Now, it can be the wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, and I believe we have completed wave 1 already, which means we are looking for the wave 2. And that can be a big one, but I really don't think we are going to do $100 in wave 2. Maybe in wave 3, we can reach that high for sure. And he's not pointing to wave 2, he's showing you the wave 2, the wave 3. Both of them can be something like this, and you have massive upside. That can be true because the market is showing you that we are among that few group of assets which are preparing to run higher. Yes, we all agree with the fact that the market is still at a $1.1 trillion. We have like 20, 30,000 assets. Do you think all these assets are going to run up? I doubt so, because if you actually go look at the return rates and say, these coins are doing good, these coins are not doing good. Now, you need to look for each project and see how SEC hammered them. In different jurisdictions, they can have different impacts. Say Algo, it's a great project. Where does most of its volume come from? If the volume in that asset is mainly coming from US, now you have trouble. But yeah, for sure, you need to actually compare before the SEC case and what's in it right now. So that kind of gives you a better perspective of looking at things. Now, technically speaking, yes, each asset does show you different structure. And that's why we are actually going through some of these assets, looking at what they are doing. Because we still remember the time when assets like, say, AGIX, Fetch, were, showing us massive upside here at the bottom. We bought in. It popped. We took profit and informed there is a massive divergence happening. It was on a daily and take profits. We did, and the market slowed down. Why? You got consistent higher highs in the price action at a time when the RSI was showing you, nah, buddy, I don't agree. Baba, take your profit, step out. Great. We did that, and we told you, watch for this range. It can be a support zone. Now, as an investor, you can enter back and it's okay. But as a trader, you don't have the confirmation yet. Maybe you are here. Maybe you are here. We don't know. We really want to get that idea. But yes, on the RSI side of things, when you look at the daily chart, it shows you this trending lower. However, the RSI is moving higher. So a lot of buyers just came in. If you are a macro investor, you want a bit more confirmation. You are looking at a macro scale. You're looking at 3-day or a weekly chart saying, okay, I want to see a double bottom or a bullish mark here. And that gives you even better perspective to look for assets. If an asset is trending higher, if an asset at least is bullish, keep your eyes focused on that asset. Now, here the price structure is not showing you a higher high compared to the previous swing range, but it does show you it's making a higher low. So there is not too much amount of selling pressure pushing it down. This range has become a great support level. Now, yes, you do have to look for this range of resistance and see a breakout. But imagine this. You're doing this trend. Yeah, this is just halfway through. What about the next run up? Because the way I'm watching it is like, okay, right now, this is what you're doing. You slowed down, you popped, you're consolidating. Yeah, you'll pop next. So this is the area where I think this asset is now. It's about to pop. Now, how high, when, we'll update all those in the group for sure. And if you are looking for those kind of updates, look for the link in the description below. So guys, stay updated. Watch for some of these red flags in the market. If it does break below this range, it may not look good for either. That is a truth, because we have seen similar patterns evolving in different assets and breaking down, going, substantially 20, 30, 40% downside in an asset like that makes a lot of panic in the market. But we are still holding on to a great support level for BNB. Unless you give that up, you don't have to go in that panic. The market is about to bounce and go back up. So guys, if you received value, please do smash that like button. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.